Hello, my name is Trevor Joren, and today I'm here to speak about speeches. I'm going to help you understand the framework for giving a great speech because it is an essential skill as a student and a young professional. And if you are able to speak well and confidently in front of groups of people, you're going to excel in your career because after all, the highest management positions have to speak in front of boards, and the best academic professors have to speak in front of large groups of people. I mean, if you're excelling in your career, you're most likely going to be put in a situation where you're going to have to speak. And so I want to share with you a couple of tips about how to approach speeches. And so I want to cover the framework of a speech. I also want to cover how to connect with your audience, and then I'm going to wrap it up by telling you what I told you. So here it is. The framework for a great speech is to start with some sort of hook. You want to talk to your audience in a way that connects. So you want to either use humor, because that's a great way of connecting and easing the atmosphere of the room that you're speaking in, or you want to connect with them through a personal story of your own. You want to tell them about who you are and why you're telling your audience what you're about to tell them. And then once you get into the meat of it, you want to say, okay, this is what I'm going to tell you, and you run through it in a quick way, like a quick preview. Then you tell them what you're going to tell them, so that's the meat of it. And then you conclude by going over quickly what you told them. So, Toastmasters International is a great resource for people who are looking to improve their speaking abilities. And I went on their website and looked at a couple of tips to share with you. And a couple of things that they recommend to do is, number one, know your material. Know more than you're going to share with your audience. In case they ask you some questions on the spot, you aren't left there like, oh crap, I don't even know what to say. Also, practice a lot. Rehearse it, and rehearse it often. If you're able to, get familiar with the venue, get familiar with the audience, know who you're going to be speaking to and where it's going to be. If you can get into like the room you'll be speaking in, go in there, set up the equipment, practice it, make it as close to as realistic as possible. And if it's something where you're not going to be able to get into the actual venue you'll be in when you're giving the speech, then use visualization and visualize yourself giving the speech to your audience, because it's funny how the brain works, but that's the closest and most realistic way that you can practice, is by closing your eyes and visualizing it. Also, realize that people want you to succeed, and most likely they're not picking out every little detail about your speech. So don't be so nervous. When you get up there, if you mess up, just keep going. Make it part of the dance. And concentrate on the message and not the medium. Don't worry so much about the appearance of your speech as the content of your speech. Also, don't apologize for your errors. Most likely your audience didn't even notice it. So just, as I said earlier, make it part of the dance. Keep moving, keep going, and don't apologize for the mistakes that you made, because the people genuinely want you to succeed, and they're not going to sit there and criticize every single thing you're doing. So, if you want to know more about how to get involved with Toastmasters, you can check out Toastmasters.org, and there's tons and tons of resources and tips about how to become a great speaker there, and I highly recommend that website. So, thank you for listening, and I hope you do well in your upcoming speeches.